Hello guys, first of all I want to congratulate you who paid to learn this. I want to tell you that this class will be so detailed that even if you are a newbie in the millinery skill, this particular tutorial is going to give you best value, practical value, all right, that you can easily implement and replicate the design and even add your own dimension to it, your own story to it, your own craft to it. All right, so this particular cap design, this particular Zara cap design stroke Awolowo hat or Ebuka cap design, we are going to be needing some materials. Okay, we are going to be needing some materials. And among them we are going to be needing this is Mako. This is our Mako. All right, this is Mako. You can easily get this from those who make shoes or bags. All right, 21 inches. This is 21 inches by 2.5 inches. 21 inches by 2.5 inches. That is for our Mako design. All right, let me say that again. 21 inches. 21 inches by 2.5. Normally the human head circumference is 22-23, but the beauty of this cap, of this hat we are about to design, is that it does not cover the entirety of your head. All right, the beauty of it is that it moves to one side, it stays at one corner of your head. So we are going to be using, we have to shorten the head circumference, the band, we can call this the band. We are going to shorten the band for this cap. So instead of using 23, we are using 21 inches by 2.5. I'm going to make this simplified so that even if you're a newbie, you can easily grab this training. Now, this is aside for this Mako. This is called Mako, all right? Then we are also going to be needing another Mako. But this is also Mako. It's either you use your Mako or you use your carry board. It's either you use your Mako or you use your carry board. Okay, so this is it. 9 by 9, 9 inches by 9 inches, 9 inches by 9 inches is what we'll be using. And then the next one is our net fabric. Sorry, before I said during this tutorial I already sewed this, so I'm going to demonstrate this with another material all together. This material now you are seeing now is from here to here is 24 inches. From here to here, that is the length, is 24 inches by 5 inches. 24 inches by 5 inches. And this is our satin material. You see that? It is our satin material. And then the net itself is also the same measurement. 24 inches by length by 5 inches. 24 by 5 inches. All right, you set that aside. Sorry, I already sewed with this, so I'm going to be demonstrating for us with this how to place it and then sew and to get this. All right, I'm going to be using this material to demonstrate it for us so that actually this is also the same measurement, 24 inches by 5 inches. Now that is that. Then you are going to get another material, satin material. For the ruffle design, we are going to be using 72 inches by 4.5. 72 inches by 4.5. Okay, so I'm just ensure that all I have is a total of 128 inches. You can use more than if you want to be bigger, but I don't subscribe to that. Use the measurement I'm giving to you to get exactly what you saw in the advert. Now we are going to be using 72 inches by 4.5. 72 inches by length by 4.5. You're going to cut it into two places, and then you're going to take it to the sewing machine and join it together like this, so that you now have a long piece of fabric that we are going to be working with towards the end of the training. That is for the ruffle design. And also we are going to measure out another one again. This is 3.5 by 38 inches. 3.5 by 38 inches. This is the length. The length is always the longer side and the width is always the shorter side. Also, we are going to be needing our trimmings. You can use any trimmings available. All right, there are different types of trimming. This is what I may definitely be using, or I may use another silver one, or this is trimming just for the covering of your inner lining. You can also decide to use bias. You can also decide to use, this is bias, all right. It's easily gotten from the tailoring sellers, tailoring material sellers. You get all these things from millinery sellers or tailoring material sellers. And then we're going to be using our original shoemaker's gum. Please use the original shoemaker's gum. I prefer this anytime, any day. This is the original shoemaker's gum. We are going to be applying it for this work. And then this is our brush, okay, for the designing of our ruff. This is our brush. You can easily get it also from those who are selling millinery things or from those who are selling tailoring materials. And then of course you need your matching color of thread, your needle, your scissors, and immediately we are getting to work. I want to tell you that you are going to love the outcome of this tutorial. Make sure you stick to this training. Make sure you follow me step by step. And please, when you finish replicating this and you are excited about all this thing, kindly go back to the ad or come back to my page, tag me, make a post, tag me, show me your work. So now let us get started and stay tuned with me. Thank you. So now we have gotten our marco, that marco I showed us, which is 21 inches by what? By 2.5. 21 inches by 2.5. We're going to fold it into two. All right, this is giving us the circular vibes we want. Remember, 21 inches by 2.5. We are going to lap it just closely together, lap it, join it together, and then we are going to sew through. What I'm just going to do is to place it upon each other, joining, forming a circular shape, and then you sew till you get to the end of the cap. This marco now is easy to work with because you can easily sew through it. We have sewn our cap, okay, we have sewn our cap and it has given us the circular this thing we want. All right, this is it. We have sewn it round and this is the circular shape of our hat that we want. Now we're going to set that aside. The next thing now is to get our material. Remember, I told you I already made a mistake by sewing before doing this recording, so I'm going to demonstrate it for us with another material altogether. So this is a poly material. You can do this, you can achieve this design with any material available to you. It's not a must, it must be satin, but satin makes your work look more beautiful because it has that shiny, outlook. Now this is our material. All right, this is our material. Now remember, it is 24 inches by 5 inches, and we also cut this one. We also cut this one 24 inches. We also cut this one 24 inches by 5 inches. You can see they are lapping together, right? 24 inches by 5 inches. Now see how you are going to do it. This is the wrong side of the material. The wrong side of the material simply means that part of the material that stays inside your body. That's the one that is hidden, that hidden part of the clothes. When you wear a cloth, the hidden part of the clothes, that's what we call the wrong side. And then the right side is like, as I'm wearing this clothes now, this one you're seeing now is what they call the right side. I'm breaking this because I know that there are newbies who bought this course, who bought this trade. So I'm trying to explain it to make sure that you learn it very, very well. So this is the right side of the fabric, and this is the wrong side of your fabric. So now we are not going to place the right side facing you. This is the right side now facing me. This is our net material. The wrong side, well, this is the wrong side and this is the right side. The right side is more shiny than the wrong side. Now you're going to take the wrong side also and place on top of the right side. It is simple. This is the right side, okay? Place it facing you. You also take your material the same way you place this one, you also place it on top. Simply means that the wrong side of this net is touching the surface of the right side of the poly material. Then you take it to your sewing machine and then you sew like this. You sew the material, you sew it from one end to another. You sew the net to the material, sew it from one end to another, sew it from one end to another. and then you also come here and sew from one end to another. So once I'm done with that, I'll get back to us and then we'll continue the tutorial. So right now I am done sewing. Okay, I've gone to the sewing machine and have sewn from this end to this end, this end to this end. Okay, and we are now ready for the next step. You are going to get your already sewn mako. All right, you are going to get it. Take your original shoemaker gun for easy application of this original shoemaker gun. When you get your original shoemaker gun, use a needle to pierce the center of the cover. One, what it does is that it will maximize your gum. You will not just waste it anyhow. So right now we are going to apply our original shoemaker gum. Okay, this is, you're going to apply it on the inside, just the inside. Okay, that's what I'm doing. I'm just pressing out the gum at the same time rubbing it. I don't need to pour my gum onto any surface. I'm applying it directly and I'm maximizing my gum. So once I'm finished with this, I'll still come back and show us. Okay, so now I have finished applying the gum inside. Can you see that? I can see all the inside. Now I'm going to apply gum to this place. This place where we joined our mako from. That's where I'm applying gum now. Okay. Okay. You're going to allow air to pass through this gum a little. Then you're going to allow it to dry a bit. Okay. Before you move on to the next step. So you're going to keep it and allow it to dry a bit before you now start designing your mako. So now we are going to start. Okay. You're going to get one end of your fabric. Start from this place. Make sure your material is at the center. And then you pull right in and fold it. Remember that you gummed the inside. Remember that you gummed the inside. So as you pull, you fold it inside. This is what I'm doing. I'm pressing it to the gum I applied inside. Please pull your fabric very well so as not to allow any greases here. That's your material will be very, very straight. And remember, we did not apply gum on the surface because of gum stain. So you pull, you fold in, you pull, you fold in. Okay, you pull, you fold in, you pull, fold in. Okay, you pull, you fold in. Okay, so now I have reached to this place where we joined, and our fabric is still remaining much. And just trim off the edge, just the edge. I'm not cutting off the excess fabric, sort of. Just trim so it to be equal, right? Good. Now it is equal right now, so I'm going to apply more gum here, and then notice that inside here, like these edges, now some of these edges are not well lapped because of dryness of gum. So you also add more gum and make sure that your work lapped very, very well. So I'm going to add more gum to this edge. Remember, to this edge. Apply more gum here to this material because we're going to cover it up with the excess fabric, and then allow it to dry, and then you cover up immediately, and then I'll come back and show us. Okay, so now we're going to wrap it up. Remember that we are pulling and folding, right? Then I'm going to use this material and cover the excess material to cover that particular joining. And that is that. So right now our cap is beginning to have shape, right? It's beginning to have shape. See how neat and clean it is. Please make sure, see the gum stains on my hands. You can avoid this by having a bowl of water just beside you. You touch as you are, drawing and folding in, but just make sure you don't stain your work anyway. Just make sure it's only the hands going inside, you touch water, so that this gum stains on my finger, you avoid it on yours. So this is this. Now we're going to set this aside, okay? And then the next thing now for us is to get our marco. Remember, this is 9 inches by 9 inches. So you're going to place, okay, you're going to place your hat on it, your cap on it. Use your biro and draw the pattern of the cap around it and trim it out. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Put this cap on your marco 9 by 9 inches. Use a biro or a chalk, anyone, and draw out the pattern. Okay, I'm looking for a chalk now. Okay, I've seen that. So I'm going to use a chalk right away, and I'll draw out the pattern. Okay, so you see it now. So I'm going to trim it off. I'm going to use my scissors and trim it off around your edge. So right now I'm trimming off around the pattern, the circular pattern I drew on my marco. Okay, so now we have our circular shape now. Okay, so we're going to apply our gum on this marco now, on one side of the marco. Let's use this place. We're going to rub our gum on it. Remember that I said applying gum the way I am saves you a lot of gum waste. Okay, it saves you a lot of gum waste. So I'm going to apply it like this. Allow air to pass through it, and then we'll come back. So air has passed through it now for some time, and then this is our foam. Did I mention we needed foam? If I forgot, I'm sorry about that. This is our foam. Okay, just get your foam, and at one corner of it you place this marco on it and press it firmly. Can you see how I'm doing it? You press it firmly to your foam. So now I want to start trimming off. Okay, remember we're going to be leaving a little bit of allowance of foam at the edge. I hope you're seeing what I'm doing. I'm not cutting exactly, I'm leaving some inches. Okay, so now I've trimmed it off. See the space I left, the allowance I left, right? Then the next thing now is for us to, on our foam, please do not rub foam and do not rub gum, this gum, all over the foam. If you do, you are going to stain your material. Okay, you are going to stain the body of your material, the head of your material. So what you are going to do is apply gum only at the edges. I was not taught this when I learned how to make this cap. Sincerely, I made a mess of my first work, so you don't need to make that same mistake I made. Can you see how we apply the gum at the edges? Allow the air to pass through it a bit, and then we come. This is our 9 inches by 9 inches material. We'll come and gum it together. So right now, let's continue. The air has dried a bit, so I'm going to be placing my material. Please, when you're doing, make sure you do it properly. Okay, place your material and then press. Make sure that your material laps to that place where we applied the gum. Had it been you applied gum here, your material would have soaked with gum stain and it will make a mess of your work. That's why I said you should not rub gum here. You should not put anything gum here. Make sure you press your material together so that, okay, can you see how I'm applying force? Apply force to make sure that your material does not have any allowance at the middle. Okay, so now this is it. Okay, now we're going to trim off the excesses, just the little excesses, because can you see what we're doing now? We have some materials left here. Now what we're going to be doing now is to apply gum at the edge. Please, not on the foam, not on the foam, not on this foam, no, and not on this foam, on the edges. So now what we're going to do is to apply gum at the edges of our fabric, at the edges of our fabric. Please note how I'm doing it. Not on the foam, please, not on the foam, not on the foam. As much as possible, stick to the edges. Allow air to pass through it. So while we're waiting for this to dry, you're also going to be applying gum. Okay, you're also going to be applying gum to one edge, please, to only one edge, to only one edge of your cap, only one edge. Don't apply it to the two edges, so only just one edge. Okay, just like I'm doing, as I'm showing you now. And then allow to dry. So right now we have allowed air to pass through it. That's dried to some point. This is where we applied the gum. Here, these are the edges. That this edge now is where we apply the gum. These edges are where we apply the gum. Please note how I'm going to place it. I've placed it down. This is where we apply the gum, right? Place it down. Place your cap down. It's that place where we rubbed the gum facing down. Right? Now you get this. And then you push it inside your heart. You push it gently inside your heart. This is what makes it a Awolowo cap. Oh, I hope you're enjoying the tutorial. I also have a YouTube channel that's where you can learn a whole lot of amazing designs for free. For free. I'm going to drop the name of my YouTube channel. Okay, I'm going to drop the name of my YouTube channel so that you can follow me up right there. So you're going to be adjusting, pushing up and adjusting till you get exactly what you subscribed for. So right now we are done. Can you see my cap? Can you see it? Can you see the in? Can you see my cap? Can you see how smooth this surface is? The first one I did, here I had a whole lot of gum stain, but because I did not apply gum again on the body of this, my hat is very neat and beautiful. Can you see it? So what you do is you keep pushing until you get the desired shape. It gives you that Awolowo vibes. All right, so now we are ready to move to the next stage, and that is our material. So you're going to get this cap. You're going to get this cap and place it on a material, on this material you're using to work. Okay, I'm not going to tell you to cut exactly. That was a mistake I made when I was learning this. Okay, you're not going to cut exactly that's round it. You're going to give a whole lot of gap because you're going to be using the inner material to cover all the yama work inside. Okay, so you're going to give like 1 inch gap and then trim around. That's what I'm doing. 1 inch gap and then you trim around. So now we are done trimming. This is it now. This is the circular. This, if you place it on your cap on it, you notice that it has something like 1 inch allowance. Okay, now if you have too much excess fabric here, please, I advise you to trim off to ensure an easier wrap of your work. But I don't have much trimmings. I don't have much fabric here, so I'm gonna let it be. Okay, so before you start applying your gum, you have to test run what you want to do. Okay, we want to use this material to cover the inner of our heart. Okay, we want to use it and cover the inner of our heart and cover all these rough edges right inside. Now if you have something like this that comes up to this place, please, it is excess, it is too much, it is almost at the edge of your heart. No, at least it should stop at the middle. All right, because we're going to use trimming to still cover up other things. So we're going to trim off this and then we'll come back. So right now I've trimmed it and I've gotten exactly what I want. So what I'm going to be doing now is to apply gum. So I'm applying gum to the edges. So I have made a mistake right now, but notwithstanding, we are going to do the right thing. So I'm going to be applying gum at the, this is the right side. I made a mistake and I went and did on the right side. Notwithstanding, I'm still going to use trimmings to cover this. Okay, so now let us do the gumming at the edges of the wrong side, because that is where I'm going to be gumming to get yeah. I'm trying to avoid gum stain. Just know that I'm applying gum to the edges of the fabric on the wrong side. So I'm going to allow that to dry a bit. Remember to avoid gum stain at the center of your fabric. So I'm going to allow that to dry a bit, and then we'll come back and we'll just round up with this hat and then go on to the ruffle design, and that is that. Okay, so we've allowed air to touch it a bit, so now we're going to look at it. Now I'm putting the wrong side inside the hat. The wrong side, this is the wrong side. I'm putting it right inside the hat. So see what I'm doing. I'm gumming it. I'm gumming the material now, the fabric now, to the body of my hat. Okay, I'm gumming it to the body of my hat. And that is what I'll be doing until I am done with this stage. So right now we are done. Okay, can you see the inner? Your inner hat now is very, very neat. Now it is easy for you to cover. You are going to apply gum on this trimming. Also apply gum at this place where you have the joining, where you have the end of the net. So to measure your trimming, you're going to measure your hat from one end to another. So measuring my hat from one end to, I have 22 inches, right? I have 22 inches. Now what I'm going to do is measure out 23 or 24 inches of trimming. All right, I'm using this because the gold was not sufficient, so I'm going to be using silver, but I would have preferred gold. So we are going to be applying our gum. Now this one you have to be very, very careful. You have to first of all apply it here. Pour your gum out to a surface, and then use this something, any tangible something to rub the gum. See how I'm doing it, please. At that point of joining, please be careful, so you as much as possible you avoid gum stain. So I'm rubbing it now to the edges. Sorry if you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm just rubbing the gum to the edges of the net, being careful of gum stain. You set that aside, and then you also rub your gum on the wrong side of your net, of your what is it called, your trimming. If you have the UHU gum, which is white in color, please use it. It will be more beneficial here, but I do not have that gum, and there is light, but I will not be using my candle gum so as not to intimidate the newbie. So allow it to dry a bit before we start sticking together. Okay, so it has dried. We've allowed air to pass through it, so now it is time to start sticking. This is your trimming, and we are trimming from this end, from one end to another. This is the cap. I hope you see what I'm doing. Just be sticking it together to that place where you applied your gum. And this work is coming out beautiful, and I'm sure your own will even be more beautiful and neater than mine. So right now I'm done putting the trimmings. So once you are done like that, please make sure you apply more force. Okay, make sure you apply more force to make sure that your trimming laps very, very well to the body of your hat. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm making sure that I apply more pressure, and that is that. I love having a very firm work. I hate loose jobs. I hate dirty jobs. So I expect yours to be better than mine. Because I'm not doing it to anybody looking at you or monitoring you. Make all your mistakes, correct yourself, and then give me a very beautiful design. So that is that. All right, that is that. I'm satisfied now with this. Can you see it? Can you see how neat the inside of our job is? That somebody is wearing this hat inside, or that's this place will be inside of their head, does not mean you should give them a rough work. If you give your clients a rough work, they will not come back. Make sure the in and out is neat. Can you see how neat and gum stain free my work is? That is how exactly how I expect your own to be like. Now we're moving on to the ruffle design. So do you remember that our 72 inches 72 inches by width, 4.5 by 72 inches by length, 4.5 by width. The material we cut out into two pieces of material. That's 72 into 2, right? And we joined it together. Now it is time to work with it. This is the wrong side and this is the right side. The right side is the shiny side, the wrong side is the dull side, which stays in when we wear your clothes. Now you are going to fold the right side to the right side. Right side to the right side. So we're going to sew on the wrong side. That's just simply what it means. When you fold a material, a fabric, right side to right side, you are getting to sew on the wrong side. So we're going to sew on the wrong side from one end to another. And also we're going to get the other material, the one we also cut out, 3.5 by 38. Fold right side to right side and sew on the wrong side from one end to another. And immediately I'm done with that, I'll come back to us and show us what needs to do. So right now we are done sewing. Okay, we are done sewing. So I'm going to be using a stick to turn our material inside out. Okay, remember we sewed on the wrong side, so I want to turn it out now to get the right side. So you can just use a stick like this, or scissors, or anything that is. I would prefer you use a stick to avoid last minute cutting. It's very easy. Okay, that's how to turn the material inside out. Okay, so I've already turned this one. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing now is to get a safety pin. So what I'm going to be doing, I've gotten a safety pin, right? I've gotten a safety pin. So I'm going to just, and then I'll begin to pass through the longer fabric. This fabric I'm using now is the 38 by 3.5, right? Now I'm going to be passing it through the 72 by 4.5 into 2 material fabric we sewed together. So I'm going to be passing it to form that ruffle design we saw on our hat. And once I am through, I will show us right on. So right now I'm done with it. Note that I used a safety pin, an office pin, to hold the two materials so that it does not slip in. Then now I've gotten to the end of the distance, so I'm going to remove my safety pin. Okay, I'm going to remove my safety pin, then fold in. Then you can trim these rough edges. Okay, just trim it off. Then you fold in like this. Just take it inside. You get the other material. This one is the one inside. This one is the one outer one. Also fold it inside. And this is what I'm doing. I'm folding it inside because of the, satin pulls a lot. It loses a lot. So you fold it in, go to your sewing machine and sew together, stitch the two of them together. All right, the same thing with the other end. I'm coming right in. So this is it. I'm done sewing the two edges. So now we're going to be forming the thing. Okay. You need to be in a circular shape. Okay, that's what I'm doing. Circular until you get. Okay, ensure that there are no spaces. Ensure that there are no spaces. All right, it is well. Then you start talking. This is my matching color of thread. Okay, let's tack to ensure that this together before you start attaching to your cap design. Can you see how I'm tacking? Just tack, tack, tack. There's no rules to this tacking. So right now I have finished. Okay, finished. Can you see? Very neat and still circular. As you are tacking, make sure you maintain the size. All right. Now this is this. Note that I have not severed my thread. I've not cut off the thread. The thread is right at the center of my design. Now see why I left that thread there, still with the needle. This is our brooch, right? This is our brooch. This brooch has a pin. You can just easily pin your this thing. I'm going to pin it quite all right. Look at that. Okay, I've pinned it. But you see this brooch, most times they are loose. Their pinning is loose. So what I'm going to be doing is this at the center of this design? No, not really. So ensure that your brooch is at the center of your ruffle. You can decide to use any other thing to do this, to put at the center of this your ruffle design, but I prefer this brooch because it gives it a kind of unique outlook. So I'm putting it at the center. Okay, so now this is at the center, right? Good. Can you see how beautiful it is? Now we're going to use our thread to hold this brooch firmly to our ruffle, so that you are sure that whenever you are supplying to a client or a client is buying from you, nothing like falling off. That is why I always use thread to hold down my own. I don't need stories. You come and start calling me and say, hey, that design, that brooch you put has fallen off, or what will I do to it? No, I always use thread to secure it. So as long as you want to use it, there's nothing like casualty. So right now we are done with the tacking and with the designing of our rose, right? So remember the joining point, remember the overlapping point, the joining point where we covered. That is where we're going to start. That's where we're going to attach our design to. You see that? That's what we're going to attach our design to. Now when you get to this point, it is either you use hot gum, that's hot gum, right? It is either you use hot gum, hot glue, that's the one you melt in the light. But if you don't have that, not to worry. I'm going to do this with same tacking. I prefer tacking most times. Okay, just tack your work neatly. Remember we work with Mako, so it's easy for you to sew through and penetrate. All right, this is giving the vibes, right? This is giving the beautiful vibes. So what we're going to be doing is, remember our matching color of thread. We are going to be sewing through. We're going to be sewing through, tacking in and out, and once I'm done, I'll come and show us. And here comes the queen, here comes the queen, here comes the queen. This is so beautiful. I hope you loved the tutorial. Please kindly implement this tutorial immediately and send me your designs. I would love to see you replicating this. Thank you.